Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we'll be. Show me what you got. Gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on the. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on. The beat is really grooving. Start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up, yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Baby, feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
All right, everyone. Got to get on up. Hello, guys. Welcome to another edition of Gavin Richard Presents here on channel G Bluetooth 786. If you're watching via my Facebook page, Gavin Richard, or Gavin Richard, the other YouTube channel, whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. I don't know what it's wrong, but every time I try and get on here, it always starts fuzzy or messing with the Periscope chat, because Periscope, when I look for my live viewers, doesn't come up in my description. So I have no idea what that is about. It's probably Twitter messing with everything. Hello, guys. I hope all is well with you, that you are doing great. whoever you are, wherever you are. I hope you are blessed and doing safe on this blessed Father's Day, not Birther's Day. And I wanted to talk about something different. Of course, this is also Black Music Month. We are still in the month of June. What's up, Frank Nitty, Boss of Queenie? I see you there. This is Black Music Month. I'm trying to get this man on, but I want to talk about this person. I don't think I did him the first time, but I want to show you a picture of someone we celebrate for Black Music Month. This is Clyde Otis Sr., Clyde Laverne Otis, who was an American songwriter and record producer. He was a contributor with a collaborator with R&B singers like Brooke Benton, Dinah Washington, as well as even Aretha Franklin, Sarah Vaughan, and a couple others. He co-wrote a lot of hits, including It's Just a Matter of Time, Endlessly, So Many Ways, Kitty-O, and the Boll Weevil song, among others. He's estimated that he has written, according to BMI, nearly 800 songs. That's a hell of a lot of songs. And Mr. Otis, I'm actually good friends with his son, Clyde Otis III. He is an attorney as well. But he started after he worked with Mercury Records. He started and founded his own music publishing firm called the Clyde Otis Music Group, and he moved into independent production. He did country songs. He produced country sessions for songs for country legends like Charlie Rich and Sonny James. And his songs have been recorded by people including Elvis Presley, Johnny Mathis, and Patti Page, and Aretha Franklin. And he collaborated, of course, with Brooke Benton. Again, that was his chief collaborator. Mr. Otis passed away at the age of 83 in January of 2008. He was a World War II veteran. He served in the Marines. How he got into the music business, he met this man, Bobby Troup. Bobby Troup is the guy on the right. He wrote a song called Route 66, which was very popular in the 1940s, made famous by Nat King Cole. So, and he actually wrote a song for Nat King Cole called "That's All There Is to That." That was the breakout song that got him from taxi driving in New York to being in the big time. All right, happy Father's Day, CL Smooth. Thank you. Thanks, Dark Skin Brother. Peace. Peace. Y'all come on in. So, for Black Music Month, we honor Mr. Clyde Otis III. I'm going to see if I can get Clyde Otis Sr., excuse me, and celebrate him this Black Music Month and this Black Music Month moment. There'll be more to come when I do more live streams, but yeah. I'm going to see if I can get him to come, his son to come on the channel. Guys, this will not be a, yeah. Okay, so that's Blackfoot. You changed your name. Yeah. So he produced 33 of Mercury Records' 51 hits in 1962. Won a Grammy Award for Take a Look by Natalie Cole. He produced. He also got the Pioneer Award by the Rhythm and Blues Foundation. So, man put in some dues. So, yeah. Had a wife named Lourdes, 2 sons, Isidro and Clyde III, his daughter Ananza, and 5 grandkids. So, lived a great life. All right. Okay. So we take that moment to honor Black Music Month. Now we get into Father's Day. Guys, I know there's a lot that has gone on this weekend. Shout out to our sister, Nicole, from Nicole's View. I don't know if you all have seen it, but I went live on her channel earlier today. We were on 92.3, where we talked about a host of things, including Juneteenth being a national holiday. I gave my opinion on that already, what I thought of it, empty symbolism. I also talked about, we talked about Oprah and how she's trying to change the image of black men. That's a link to the chat, to the YouTube channel. We also talked about Judge Bill Cosby, Father's Day, and how Bill Cosby still America's favorite dad, and he is. That has not changed because of his status in prison. I still say that the Cosby Show is still influential as it is today. You know, I had a father at home, so I did not would not call right. That says it's connected, but when I try to type something up, for whatever reason, it does not let me save it and it doesn't let me type it up. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this in the chat. So that settles that. Still America's favorite dad. It doesn't change. It didn't change for me. He is still America's favorite father. They tried to put Tom Hanks as America's favorite dad. No way. Bill Cosby will always be America's favorite father, and I don't give a damn what they put out, what they've tried to say, what they have done to him. You know, I've said this before. Whether you like Mr. Cosby or not, as Harvey Superboy has even said himself, and Nicole and I were saying earlier today, that is irrelevant. If you have an issue with or disagreement with how he may have handled the hip hop community, how he may have talked down to different young black comedians, and I'm not going to say everything he did was right because I didn't agree with everything. And yes, I think he could have handled it more discreetly. Some arguments he had with or issues that he had with black comedians, I would not go out and chastise or talk bad, I guess, about my youngsters if I could pull them to the side and talk to them quietly. Now, he did not dog Eddie Murphy out in public. Eddie Murphy brought that up when he did Raw. And a lot of, even back in the 80s, I learned this because I just did my research. I didn't know that Eddie Murphy had so many people that disliked Eddie Murphy. When Eddie Murphy was doing Delirious and Raw, Eddie Murphy got criticized by Lucille Ball. Lucille Ball thought Eddie Murphy was filthy. She said that. Same thing with Rodney Dangerfield. Hell, even Richard Pryor criticized Eddie. He thought Murphy, he thought his comedy was mean-spirited. He didn't like some of the stuff. And You know, lately they tried to get Eddie to apologize for jokes he made about gays. You know, you can't mess with that mafia. But nevertheless, Cosby, my understanding was he was trying to tell Eddie about how he shouldn't be bragging so much about his money. Now, I wasn't around back then, so I don't know as this whole story about what happened, who did what, whatever. But that's all irrelevant at this point. That's all irrelevant right now. It doesn't even matter. Mr. Cosby is no longer, is deceased. But I'm sorry. Excuse me. No, he's not deceased. I apologize. I misspoke. Mr. Cosby's been locked up in prison for nearly 3 years on, what I think was a bullshit charge. And it was done essentially by this prosecutor who, you guys know, I've always been talking about this. He ran a campaign on trying to get Bill Cosby arrested. Something that should have never happened. So he is still, to me, America's favorite dad. And I don't think there's nothing that's going to change that. He saved a lot of that television network, NBC, was literally saved by Bill Cosby because NBC was going bankrupt. They were getting their asses kicked by television shows such as Dallas, Magnum PI. It was those shows. Y'all remember JR? That's the actor who played J.R. Ewing. Not him. Larry Hagman. Yeah. I go back all the way because I think about this because, geez, I'm in my mid-30s, and it makes me reflect on those that are no longer here, like my aunts and uncles, who are no longer there, but my aunts in particular who love watching shows like Dallas with my mom and dad. Before I was born, they always talk about it. I still heard them talk about it all the time. That damn JR, that damn JR. Well, it was CBS that was kicking NBC's ass in the ground. They were pulverizing them week after week. Boss Queenie, to answer your question, shout out to you, Rosalind. There is no telling when that decision can be made. It's been over 6 months. Decision can be any moment. It could be any day. I think that they were waiting to make a final decision on things because of the parole hearing. I saw OJ talk about how Bill Cosby should have taken the parole deal so he could get out of prison. OJ, you got arrested and jailed for stealing your own shit. You didn't learn your lesson from 1994? Even though I know you got framed. You got framed over bullshit. Enjoy your golf game. You're still being watched by the Las Vegas. You're still under Nevada supervision, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how long his supervised probation ends, but shit, you got the nerve to tell Bill Cosby, well, he should have just gone ahead with the parole, not knowing Bill. If he had gone forward with the parole, let's be real, that would have thrown the appeal out. It would have made it a moot point because you're saying you're not guilty, You've asked the court to look at this because there were errors in the case, and I would rather him forget being paroled and going ahead moving forward with the appeal. You know why? Because if you move forward with the appeal and the judge finds an error, the judges find errors, then it throws out the whole conviction. There is no registering a sex offender. There is no keeping your distance from the victims or from any woman not being around it. There's nothing like that. And it forces the state to go and do a retrial, which I'm pretty sure they will not do. I am pretty confident if this case, this is my opinion, my legal opinion, this case gets overturned, that verdict gets overturned, they're not going to retry that case. Although Bill Cosby's, his reputation will be tarnished still because of it, but on the flip side, there are a lot of people who think already that Bill Cosby shouldn't be in jail. But, well, I think Bill Cosby is an asshole. That's honestly what it comes down to, why a lot of people think he did it. It's not whether they think he did it or not. They don't look at the evidence. It's just a matter of, I don't like the man. I don't like Roland Martin. And if Roland Martin was accused of a night feeding at a McDonald's, although I'm inclined to believe it, I would not jump on the bandwagon and accusing Roland Martin of that night feeding just because I think he's an asshole, which he is. He's a jerk. I'm not gonna hide. Y'all know how I feel about him. And that goes for just arrogant. But neither here nor there. That's because I look at the justice system, and our justice system says innocent until proven guilty. Same thing when Paul Mooney was accused. I actually am Facebook friends with D.L. Hughley and Paul Mooney's sons, and all of them, especially one of Mooney's sons, I've told you about this, supposedly had a friend who claimed Cosby assaulted her, but never would name the friend, never would come up with anything, but all he would say is he was co-signing that verdict. And how do he said, oh, she wasn't in it for money, she's not a doctor, she's a doctor and all this stuff. But how the fuck you know if you weren't there? If you're not gonna name their names and they're not gonna speak up, shit, we ain't gonna go no further. That's just real. I'm not gonna throw them in the mix. We don't do that. Speak up, speak now, or forever hold your peace. You got a new YouTube channel, Jaleel? No, but he needs to be quiet. OJ, and God rest F. Lee Bailey, because Bailey was a true. You guys know I've applauded Mr. Bailey. I tried to actually get him to come on the show before he passed. I wish he did. But Bailey, to the end, defended O.J. Simpson. Till the very end, he defended him. And I've done my research in the case. Okay, that's cool, Jaleel. I appreciate it. I've done my research in the O.J. Simpson case. Y'all should look at the book. Let me tell you, I'm going to give y'all some readings. This is Father's Day. Not Birthday Day. Father's Day. It's not Mother's Day. This is a 4.5 star book. That's how many ratings it has. I give it higher because I read this book, and without question, Y'all also should read the truth. I started reading this one. This is F. Lee Bailey's last book that he was working on the case, who was the architect of the feds. But this book details how messed up Mark Fuhrman and these guys. All right, let's see. Mark Fuhrman and those guys were at the LAPD, and the role that they played in framing O.J. Simpson. Now, it wasn't the entire Los Angeles Police Department, but he breaks down stuff. Like, a lot of people forget that the tow truck driver, I believe his name was Ernie Durrell, I could be wrong, they got inside the Bronco. At least 4 witnesses got in there, including the impound detective. And when they were asked when the car was impounded, when the Bronco was impounded for evidence, they asked, did you see any blood? 4 of them all testified. They said no. So when you saw blood on the outside of O.J. Simpson's car, and you had these police officers like Tom Lane and all those motherfuckers were lying. They were lying. It wasn't the entire LAPD, but there were a select few. They were very powerful, at least in that department. Some of them were even part of the Rampart scandal. The shoe size that was in the tiles outside of Nicole Brown Simpson's house, those were about that Bruno Magli shoes. The shoe size was about 10.5 to 11 feet. O.J. Simpson wears like a size 13. That's a big man. I know athletes. That glove that didn't fit. You know, athletes typically, especially that height, if you're 6'2" or more, 6'3". My dad met Larry Holmes. Okay, when Larry Holmes was the former world heavyweight boxing champ after Muhammad Ali. Doesn't get a lot of credit, but one of the best of all time. His hand, when my dad shook hands with him, engulfed my father's hand. That's how big his hand was. O.J. Simpson has massive hands. There was no cuts, no bruise. Big dude. That's Larry Holmes. All right, you see that, that's the fight he had with Ali when, unfortunately, that was Ali. Ali was not in championship shape to fight Larry Holmes, and I wish he would have retired after the 3rd Joe Frazier fight, or even if after Spink's fight. I think he should have hung it up. And who knows? He probably needed money. A lot of those guys, they have entourage and so forth, so they take care of their families. But, I see. Y'all can't even see Larry Holmes' shoe size. Hold on. Glove size. So, but the point being, guys like that, that's Larry Holmes there. That's his hand size. And that's the night he fought Ali. Yeah. But my point being is that somebody big like that, there's no way that glove could fit. And then the glove was still wet when they found it hours later. So you knew it was planted. Well, look. Well, remember this too. The back gate was locked, and he couldn't have hopped that fence to get over that, given his arthritis. There was an eyewitness who knew OJ. He said he heard the voices, saw the people that were arguing with Nicole, but when he saw that it was getting louder, he turned back the other way. So he really could have solved the case beforehand, but they didn't. He said the mafia took it out. That Messaluna restaurant, which is no longer there, there were several people that died mysteriously. Michael Nigg, who worked there, several other waiters that worked there were murdered. Nicole Brown Simpson's sister was dating a freaking mafia hitman who testified in court. He was in witness protection and testified in court. No, it wasn't the son. No, Jaleel, that's wrong. No. They try to tie OJ to it because it's $1 billion industry. They got to tie OJ Simpson in it because it's $1 billion industry. So no, it's not that. But it was more than that. It was multiple people. It was 2 individuals involved. Like I said, they had 2 different sets of footprints. Not one of those sizes belonged to OJ. Yeah, I think he knows who did it. Yeah, but he's not going to say anything because he's got children. He's got other kids to think about. Remember, those 2 kids were upstairs in the house while all of this stuff was going on. They're lucky they didn't get killed. It had something to do with Faye Resnick because she had a drug bill that she owed. And Nicole was hanging out with these people. But y'all read those books, Legacy of Deception. Read F. Lee Bailey's book, The Truth About the Trial of O.J. Simpson. The Truth About the O.J. Simpson Trial was made right before he passed away. Very good book to have. Let me say this. So today, it wasn't his son Jason. They try to keep the O.J. Simpson name involved because of the money that it can be made. I mean, the Kardashians made a living because the Kardashians are famous because of the O.J. What's interesting, do you guys know that everybody associated with the O.J. Simpson case wrote a book or advanced their careers except the judge, Lance Ito? Lance Ito never wrote a book, got a screenplay or a movie deal, nothing. Nothing. Don't know why. But he had nothing to do. He had nothing to do with the case. He had made no money off the case. And he's retired, 70 years old now. Wife was Margaret York. She was involved in the tapes that were released with Mark Fuhrman, calling her all types of names and stuff. But Fuhrman was a vehement racist, man. So we're talking about Father's Day. Let's get to what we want to talk about. Father's Day. There was this thing trending about Father's Day. There's a push. A lot of people don't know that there is a push to try to abolish Father's Day. Now let's look at the history. Now, Father's Day was created by this woman, Sonora Smart Dodd, and her father was an American Civil War veteran, William Jackson Smart, and her dad was a single parent. She's credited with starting it as an American holiday. When she was hearing a church sermon about the newly recognized Mother's Day at Central Methodist Episcopal Church, she felt strongly that fatherhood needed recognition as well, and she approached the Spokane Ministerial Alliance and suggested her own father's birthday of June 5th as the day of honor for fathers. And the Alliance chose the third Sunday instead. Eventually, I believe it was Calvin Coolidge. They don't mention it in here, but Calvin Coolidge is the one. Now, of course, there are different traditions about Father's Day where it's celebrated, but Calvin Coolidge, as president of the United States, he recommended in 1924 that the day be observed by the nation, but he didn't issue a national proclamation. Several presidents went to Spokane to speak in Father's Day celebration, wanted to make it official, and this was Woodrow Wilson, but Congress resisted, fearing it would become commercialized. Well, we know from Juneteenth now that it's going to be commercialized, so that does happen. It is commercialized. That's the fact. Their fears have come true. But Father's Day, I think, and it's estimated they spend $1 billion on Father's Day. Holidays, a lot of people spend a lot of money. So President Lyndon Johnson issued the first presidential proclamation honoring fathers, designating the third Sunday in June as Father's Day. And then 6 years later, in 1972, Tricky Dick, Richard Nixon, signed it into law. So he signed Father's Day into law on the third Sunday of June. So, all right, she lived a long life. She lived to be 96 years old. Her dad was a World War II vet. But nevertheless, that's her there. That's her dad. So, and I know there may be people who in the chat that may not celebrate Father's Day. Yeah, there are people that are pushing to abolish Father's Day. You're right about I'm looking at your comments. Oh, Rosalind, I'm sorry to hear that. So, yeah, there's a push to get rid of Father's Day. Now, I started off and I showed this picture and I'll show y'all my Facebook picture. I want to send a special Father's Day shout out to these two individuals. Let me stop the screen and I'm going to talk about what the plan is to abolish Father's Day. But this, ladies and gentlemen, it's an old picture I have, but that's me on the right, and that is my father, Leon, Papa Richard, as you call him, and that's my brother, Chad. Happy Father's Day to both of these individuals, my dad, Leon, and my brother, Chad. Both of them are, my brother is a father of two. So I've tried to call him earlier, he didn't respond, but happy Father's Day to them. Two men I look up to in most of my life. Now, Dad, he's somewhere in the back. So they want to there was a call by some people in the news to remove Father's Day because they think it's an affront to LGBTQ. There were people that have protested, and I hate Snopes because I think Snopes it's not from Snopes, but I have seen articles because I think Snopes is tied to a political agenda to the left. That's just my thing. But I know for a fact there are people that have called for now that picture that you see. You don't see this here. Now they say that this picture is false. They said that it's false. And it may be. But then when I look at this article here, this article from the LA Times, this was in 2014. They say why Father's Day should be abolished. It is a gender referenced holiday. Wow, great. It is a gendered holiday. Although I'm a dad, I think it's time to put an end to Father's Day. When I was a kid, I saw myself throwing a frisbee with my future children. But when I came out at USC, this is written by Hag Shahanan. So he's a guest blogger. I don't even think he's from, is he from the United States? Maybe, maybe not. Gay parenting was still in the closet. My fathering prospects seemed in until I met Peter. He's easy to go. Okay, stop right here. All right, so that's a reason, right, why he's against it. It's a gender-themed holiday. Well, let's also look at this. If we look at this from a natural perspective and just history, homosexuality cannot produce children. So the idea of a gay man becoming a parent, while yeah, gay couples can legally adopt now, it was illegal. They did not honor that back then. The family unit was thought of being, and in still some areas being, between a man and a woman. The institution of marriage is sacred, male and female. Oh, they're talking about Mother's Day too becoming Birthers Day. I can't even read enough of it, but you know, this is a gay man. This was in 2014, and he wrote this. You know, I'm not trying to make this about LGBTQ or anything like that, but I'm just talking strictly about Father's Day. You want to abolish Father's Day, and as I read this, a week before the May Mommy celebration, I approached the preschool director. She suggested a plan. We're thinking you could receive the tissue flowers. Your partner will get the baseball collage on Father's Day. So for Mother's Day, but here's the thing. Yes, Mother's Day is themed towards women. A woman is a mother. And they went to this nursery school. This is how he says right here, I'm frowned. For all the mothering I do, being labeled the matriarch was an inelegant solution. And it didn't work. Your shit, do you think what you're doing works? And my confused daughter left her handmade paper carnations on the kitchen counter, uncertain of their rightful owner. Yeah, y'all confused her as fuck. I'm not even making this about, I'm not trying to make this about LGBTQ, because it's not just them that want to abolish Father's Day. There's feminists that even want to say Father's Day should be abolished. They're just people that think it should be abolished because they think it's not necessary. There's some type of animosity towards fathers, towards men in this country. You don't, here's a solution. Don't celebrate it. Why you got to step on everybody else's toes because you don't agree with what they say? They don't agree with you. You confused your damn kids. That's not the fault. Father's Day's been around before you were even born. So how you come up with this shit? I'm done with it. Then they want to show you. I'm going to put this article up here. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I get it. But damn, you want to push your opinions on everybody else and make it law? The inventor of Mother's Day disowned the holiday, and so should we all. Why? Now, look, these are old articles. I get it. But you guys see that there's a pattern here. Most women, I'm reading just a brief piece of this. Most women don't want a brunch with a crowd of strangers. They want their work as a mother, their joy as a mother, and their pain as a mother to be recognized, acknowledged, and honored in a genuine and consistent way. According to salary.com, the average stay at home mom works 94 hours a week. If she collect a salary doing an average a range of 6.2 hours of laundry and 14 hours of cooking and the like, she would earn around $113,568 per year. See, this is the problem. You guys and ladies, you especially like this woman, are treating it as a job. Being a parent, I'm not a parent either, but isn't just a job. It's bigger than that. It is an obligation. In the natural order, a man who is a father, his job is to provide for his entire family. Same thing with the mother. Her job is to nurture. And there's, I'm not saying that women, this is your place, but it is your base. As a woman, it is your obligation. God, when human beings were created, there was no 401k with being a parent, and you think of it as such. People want things given to them. Our grandparents and great grandparents right now would roll in their graves to see the state of marriage and the family unit right now. Well, you had a military career, dark skinned brother, but you still provided for your children. As a man, as a father, your job, you worked in the military. I'm sure they were covering under your benefits. And no, yeah, you got to physically be there for them. It's more than just working. I get that. And that's hard to do if you were in the military or some sorts. But some couples, if they're married, I take it I don't know if you were married or anything like that, their spouses moved with each other. If you were married, typically the family would go live with that military dad on that base. But all of this shit, I say all of this like I said, this was not going to be a long live stream. It is freaking annoying to look and listen to these idiots. And that's what they are, idiots that think that they don't need a mother and father, that they don't think children need a mommy and daddy in their lives. How stupid, how dumb can you be? Where are we going as a nation? What are we doing? Y'all don't think you need a mother and father? Look what's going on in our streets today. I'm in New Orleans. These kids are acting like a bunch of fools, shooting innocent people. We had a woman a week ago that got murdered, delivering food to her mother, her elderly mother and father, and got shot dead by some teenagers. It's insanity. Father's Day, it's like what Judge Joe Brown said. It's for men. There are things expected of men. There are obligations that we have. It's not easy being a father these days. And so you do what you can, even if circumstances prevent you doing all that you should. As well, there's no limit to doing for the many. And that will influence yours as well. So to all men out there, courtesy of Judge Joe Brown and me, I want to wish all of you, if you are a father, or not even a father, if you're an uncle, a godfather, because I had men in my life who were not my fathers, but were influential nonetheless, that I have respect for. I say happy Father's Day to you. I say happy Father's Day because some of you guys had uncles that filled in that role. It wasn't there. Some people had their brothers that filled father. And so, on that note, because it is Father's Day, I didn't really want to talk too much about anything else because you guys have heard when I was on Nicole. I'm sure you all will go to her channel. Y'all can look at just use that and look at my comments for what I think about Juneteenth and being a holiday, as well as okra and a couple other topics. But till then, guys, I'm going to leave with this picture. Again, these are real men here. These are men. And I say happy Father's Day, Dad, Leon D. Richard. And happy Father's Day, Chad D. Richard. You guys be safe, be blessed. Please download the single. Got to get on up. We need it. I'm pushing for sales. I'm pushing for people to buy it. Download it, share it. Enjoy yourself, dance to it. I know I'm not the best singer or anything like that, but I had fun doing this. I had real fun doing this and coming on live stream with you all. So it's time to get on up, guys, and I'm gonna get on up out of here. But don't let these idiots fool you. You guys know what you need to do as men and as women. Get on out there, get on up, and shake something. Peace and blessings. Rosalind, thank you. I ask you also to please donate to the Cash App, donate to PayPal. You see it at the bottom, the ticker, Gavin Richard Esquire, and PayPal is gavin.grich1@gmail.com. Shout out to our new subscribers. We have Versatile Legacy, who has just subscribed. We have someone else who subscribed to. I couldn't get their name on here, but we just came out from dinner and I got the itis real bad and I still got to make a run. But until next time, guys, I'll holla. Peace.
Girl, come on. Gotta dance to the beat, cause on the dance floor is where we're at. Show me what you got. You gotta feel the groove. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Right now the party's wasted. There's nothing much to do. But once the groove gets started, tell me, what do you have to lose? Just look into my eyes, girl, as we glide across the room. And what to my surprise now, the beat takes hold of you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something up. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Tell the DJ play the whispers. Rock steady in the mood. Put on earth, wind, and fire. Tonight we're gonna groove. Show me how you do the four corners. Electric slide or two. Hit the bus stop or do the bunny hop, baby. It's really up to you. Now if you're feeling like I'm feeling, so come on baby, let's start dealing. Time to get this party started. Ain't no time for the broken hearted. When the rhythm takes hold of you, there's only one thing left to do. Cause the beat is really moving. Time to get your body moving. Gotta get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something up. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Now 2020 hasn't been the best year of all times. We've been dealing with death, the pandemic, racism, bad policing, and all the bad rhymes. But like Uncle Snoop once said, if you're breathing, you're achieving. So if you're ready, I need you all to get on up. Are you ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Get your butt on the dance floor. 5 and 6 and 7, 8. This jam we appreciate. We're gonna slide and step on the beat. On the dance floor is where we'll be. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up and move your body. Cause when the beat is really grooving, start to feel your body moving. Gotta get on up and shake something up. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up. Yeah, gotta get on. Come on, baby, gotta get on. Feel the groove, get on the floor. Get on up.
Get on up, guys. That's it. Good night.